Today on What It's Like, 1947 Ford Super Deluxe convertible. But before getting into all of it, I'm Jay. Welcome to What It's Like, the automotive channel that gives you all of the background information on the classics, vintage, some exotics, lots of orphan cars, and cars off the beaten path. We dive in deep with specs, period ads, button switches, and knobs, and most importantly, we show what these cars are like. If that sounds like a channel that you will totally dig, subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. This 1947 Ford Super Deluxe is currently for sale at Classic Auto Mall, Morgantown, Pennsylvania. It's not a museum. Think of it more as an indoor classic car show, but all of the cars are for sale. And anybody, get this, anybody can go there. It doesn't cost anything to get in or out. For more information, pricing, and pictures pertaining to this very car, click the link below after the show. So, let's set the stage. Pearl Harbor gets bombed on December 7th, 1941, bringing America into the global conflict we now know as World War II. The reason I'm bringing this up is because February of 1942, the government closed all major manufacturing plants to help with the war effort. Ford, during the war, built airplanes and Jeeps. Side note, Ford was responsible for the iconic Jeep grille because they built Jeeps during World War II, not Willys. Also, Willys is not responsible for the Jeep. That was the American Bantam. It's all in this episode if you'd like to learn more about it. Back to the Ford. In 1947, Ford was basically a carryover design that dates back to before the war, going clear back to 1941. Retooling costs a lot. Ford, GM, Chrysler, all three huge companies played a huge role in making war machines during the war. They just blew the dust off the pre-war dies and made minor changes, different grills, but the bodies were pretty much the same. Let's compare 41 on top, 47 on the bottom, starting in the front. Just look at the shape. It's the same. The grills and the bumpers have been revised. The 41 has fender marker lights that are not found on the 47. Fenders have also been revised. Where there is a crease on the 41, that section is covered up with stainless on the 47. Stainless used as rocker molding on the 47 that isn't on the 41. Look at the contours in the front of the nose region. It's very interesting. Moving up to the windshield with your eyes, vent windows, side mirror placement, it all looks the same. Looking at the side profile, same shape. Hubcaps grew in 47. Better look at the 47 stainless, whereas the 41 doesn't have it. Especially on the fenders. Like, look at the fenders. Notice the stainless trim on the 47, and then look up. The 41 doesn't have it. The 47 also has gravel guards where the 41 doesn't. Looking at the rear, the stainless looks wider on the 47. Big stainless steel Ford badge on the trunk that isn't found on the 41. Also, look at the taillight situation. The taillights on the 47 protrude more than the ones on the 41. Rear bumpers have also been revised, moving to the dash region, which are totally different but similar at the same time. Which do you like better in the comment section below? 1947 Ford could be had in two trim levels, Deluxe or Super Deluxe. Ford offered the Super Deluxe from 1941 through 1942, took a bit of a break because World War II happened, 46 through 48. It was succeeded by the 1949 Ford, also known as the Shoebox Ford. It could be had as a two-door coupe, two-door sedan delivery, two-door sedan, four-door sedan, four-door wagon, and two-door convertible. It's worth mentioning that Sportsman Woody could also be had as a Super Deluxe. The differences between the Deluxe and the Super Deluxe: better fabrics used on the Super Deluxe, two sun visors, two ashtrays, clock, armrests on both front doors, and horn ring. If I missed anything in the comment section below, please and thank you. Let's talk specs. 198.2 inches long, 73.3 inches wide. It rides a wheelbase of 114 inches. It weighs 3,265 pounds. Price, $1,737, which is equivalent to you spending $23,510.72 in the year 2023. Just for giggles, the Sportsman convertible, which costs even more at $2,275, which would be equivalent to $30,792.69 in the year 2023. That's crazy. I made the comment in previous videos saying that everything is way too overpriced, and here is the best example of that. $23,510.72 for a decent convertible in 1947 with a powered top. The cheapest convertible one can buy now is a 2023 Mazda Miata MX-5, and I'm not 100% sure if the convertible top is powered, and it costs $30,000 for that convertible. Crazy, right? Interesting side note, 47 Ford convertible top had power options. 3 different ways the power top could operate: vacuum powered, electric, or hydraulic. Total 1947 Ford was 429,674 units, of which 22,159 were convertibles. Moving on to engines, which there are 2, starting in the basement. 226 cubic inch displacement, flathead 6, 3.7 liters. It's good for 90 brake horsepower at 3,300 RPM. 180 pound-feet of torque at 1,300 RPM. Compression 6.8 to 1, features 4 main bearings. When mated to a 3-speed manual transmission, 0 to 60 could be had in 20.5 seconds. Theoretical top speed 78 miles per hour, while obtaining an average fuel economy of 15 miles to the gallon. Moving to the second engine, which was the 239 cubic inch displacement flathead V8, 3.9 liters. It's good for 100 horsepower at 3,600 RPM. This same 180 pound-feet of torque at 1,400 RPM. Compression 6.8 to 1, features 3 main bearings. When mated to a 3-speed manual transmission, 0 to 60 could be had in 18.1 seconds. Theoretical 81 miles per hour, while achieving the same 15 miles to the gallon average. Let's talk styling. Look at how these bumpers come up here and then they go back down to a more slender style. Overriders. All this nice bright work here. Look at all the lines going on in the hood. Look at how this comes up. It's way wider down here. It tapers going towards the hood. Look at how these fenders are designed. Look at how it... very curvy design. Here's a better look at this fender. Look at this nice bright work down here. Also check out this part here. This one's a convertible, so it doesn't have drip rails. But just look at how the windshield's designed. Massive 2-piece windshield. The windshield wipers do not have pedestals. Does have a cowl vent. Rubber gravel guards. Look how this fender is designed. Also notice this line here. Coming to the rear section, look at how these protrude outward, these brake lights. Also check out this exhaust tip. That's pretty cool. How this is all textured and grooved. Nice Ford script. Big. This thing has to weigh like a pound or 2. Chrome and or stainless Ford script. While we're back here, let's get in the trunk. It's a bit heavy. Look at these massive springs. That's what holds the trunk up. Spare tire, full-size spare tire sitting there with a bumper jack. This is a big trunk. I'm gonna back up so you can see how big it is. Before getting inside, just look at how this door handle is designed. Also notice the brightwork leading up to it. It's almost like it's part of the brightwork. So the door opens up a full 90 degrees to allow plenty of access into the cabin. Armrest, door handle to get out, window crank for the big window, and it operates like this. Notice this door doesn't have a frame around it because it's a convertible. The window is all nice and trimmed out. There's my finger for reference. It's pretty thick. It's got a vent window that's crank operated. Take a look at this interior. Coming down inside the pedal box down here. This is the hood release. So go ahead and hit the hood release. This is the hand brake and or parking brake. High beam switch, clutch, brake, gas pedal. Notice the steering wheel shaft goes sort of in between, but it's up on top. Here's what over the hood impression looks like. Here's what first person over the hood looks like. Here is under the steering wheel situation. It is a bit, I mean, I can put my hand underneath the steering wheel. The steering wheel moves freely, but it's grazing my crotch. And the reason I show that is because if you're bigger than I am, you're not going to fit in this car. And it's not fun to drive a car when the steering wheel is in your crotch. I wear size 34 pants. I'm 6'2". If you're bigger than me, you might have some issues. On to the button switches and knobs, but before we do, check out all the different colors that are going on, as well as texture. It kind of sort of looks like Chex Mix, doesn't it? Gasoline gauge, oil pressure, amp meter, coolant temperature, speedometer with odometer inside of it, starter button, headlights, hand throttle, convertible top, key, choke, lighter, radio with radio controls, and clock. Up above, there are sun visors. Here's my hand for reference. They're pretty big. Also, check out where all the latches are for the convertible top. There's one there, there's one in the center, and then there's one over here, passenger side sun visor. Nice rear view mirror here. On to the glove box test. Here's our test subject. Here's my hand for reference. Here is our glove box in question. Oh, look, it opened. A lot of times I push the button and nothing happens, and you have to like pry it open, and it's not fun. But that one was really fun because it just opened. All right, and it's a pretty big glove box. All things considered. There it is. Fits in there, no problem at all. It's got the cowl vent, it's right here. Also has ashtrays up here. There's an ashtray for the driver. There's an ashtray for the passenger. Windshield wipers controlled right there. Getting in the rear seat, just fold the seat forward like that. Notice it pivots out of the way to give you access to get in the back. This is what the front looks like from the back. Let's take a quick gander at the greenhouse, or pillar to glass ratio. Here is what it looks like out the rear window from the back seat. Notice there is a lot of area to store stuff once the convertible top is in place. This is a plexiglass or plastic window. Let's take a look at the seat profile. It is rather upright. It does dip down quite a bit in the back there. Knee situation. There is enough space for my knees. This is what I look like sitting in the rear. I got tons of headroom, but this is a convertible, so the convertible top can be removed and sky's the limit. Seat profile isn't very comfortable. It's not a very comfortable seat back here. There isn't any dome lights or coat hooks because it's a convertible. There isn't even an armrest back here, but the windows do go up and down, and they operate like this. How cool is that? That is super cool how that works. Getting under the hood, already popped it from the inside. There is a second catch right here. Just push it away from you. relatively light because it has these massive springs on the end that help the hood open. But just check out the flathead V8. It's way down inside there. Oil filter, oil bath air cleaner, generator. It's got 2 water pumps because it's a flathead Ford, and they had 2 water pumps on, had a water pump on each bank of cylinders. On the positive side, growing in popularity, flathead V8 performance. Hood release located inside large glove box. This one passed the glove box test easily. Very easy to read gauges. There is room both front and back. Against it, if you're bigger than 36 in the waist, the steering wheel may be in your crotch. Rear seats isn't comfortable for a full-sized adult. Flathead V8 prone to overheating. All right, now it's time for Would You Rather, steak or chicken, paper or plastic. 2 scenarios today. In the first scenario, 1947 Chevy convertible or 1947 Ford convertible or 1947 Dodge convertible. I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Moving to the second scenario, 1947 Chevy Woody or 1947 Ford Woody or 1947 Dodge Woody. Just note that the Chevy and the Ford are based on cars, whereas the Dodge is based on a truck. Gonna leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Now it's time for Name That Tune. First person to give both the name of the band and song correctly in the comment section will have their comment pinned to the top of it. Thank you all so much for coming out and watching this. If you'd like to get in touch with me, shoot me a comment in the comment section below or check out our Facebook group that correlates with this YouTube channel. If you don't have Facebook and would like to get a hold of me, shoot me an email. All of that information will be linked in the description below. Just know I appreciate all the support. And until next time, we generally have scenes for our next episode. Our next episode is going to be Discussion Friday. I'm not sure what the topic's going to be yet. So here's some scenes for our upcoming episodes that are coming in the future. And until then, toodaloo!